everyone, I am Irfan and today we will learn about Earth's 4 major layers. So let's start today's video. As I told in the starting, we are going to learn about the Earth's 4 major layers. So let's start. The Earth's 4 major layers are the crust, mantle, outer core and the inner core. The outer core and the inner core are together known as the core. Now let's learn each of them one by one. Now let's start from the crust. The crust is the most outermost layer of the earth. It is like a pig's skin. The crust is mostly soil and rock and is the thickest beneath land masses and the thinnest under the ocean. The crust can be 70 kilometers deep at some points, but even the skin of a pig is a way too thick to accurately represent the crust to scale. And if you want to see a picture of the crust, you can see on the screen. Our second destination is the mantle. Mantle is the second outermost layer of the earth, and it is the most thickest layer of the earth. The mantle has incredibly hot, gooey magma rock that slowly circulates in giant convection currents which drag the crust around. It is 2000 kilometers thick and its temperature is less than 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. Our third destination is the outer core. The outer core is made up of iron and nickel, but it is in molten form. As I told you that the outer core is made up of molten iron and nickel, this molten iron and nickel forms Earth's magnetic field. Now what is the Earth's magnetic field? Well, the Earth's magnetic field protects it from the harmful solar flares from the sun. Our last destination is the inner core. The inner core is warmer than the outer core, but the iron and nickel remain solid because the inner core is under an incredible amount of pressure from the layers on top of it. The temperature of the inner core is 6000 degrees Celsius and it is located in the center of the planet. We had learned many things about Earth's 4 major layers. Today, up to this, please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. I am Irfan and today we are going to learn about the history of life on Earth. So, without wasting time, let's start today's video. At first, we need to know about eras. Eras are divisions of the timeline of the formation of the Earth. We need to learn these divisions because life had changed, and according to that, scientists had classified them. So, the eras we are going to discuss are Archean, Proterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. So, let's learn each era one by one. Now, let's start from the Archean era. The Archean era started from 4 billion years ago and it ended at 2 billion years ago. In the Archean era, life first appeared. Origin of life. All life was single-cell bacteria and blue-green algae. The algae grew in rings or short columns called stromatolites, which are fossilized rocks. Today, stromatolites still form in shallow tropical seas. Now, Archean era is over and Proterozoic era has started. The Proterozoic era started 2 billion years ago and ended 550 million years ago. Many of the most exciting events in the history of the Earth and of life occurred during the Proterozoic era. Oxygen appeared in the atmosphere and built approximately the present level of 21%. Eukaryotes appeared. Rare fossils of soft-bodied creatures show that many different animals had evolved by this time. They include the first kinds of jellyfish, corals, sea pens, and worms. The first two eras, Archean era and the Proterozoic era, are collectively called as Precambrian era. Now, the Proterozoic era is over and the Paleozoic era has started. The Paleozoic era started from 550 million years and ended at 252 million years. Many organisms with shells or exoskeletons started appearing. Vertebrates, plants, amphibians and reptiles evolved. Simple land animals evolved about halfway through this era. Pangea formed at the end of the area, creating mountains as continental plates collided. The end of Paleozoic era was marked by mass extinctions. 90% of all marine animals and 70% of all land organisms became extinct. Now the Paleozoic era is over and the Mesozoic era has started. The Mesozoic era has started 252 million years ago and ended 66 million years ago. Pangea split first into two land masses and eventually into what we know as our continents. Dinosaurs evolved during this era. The first birds and mammals also appeared during the Mesozoic era, although mammals were mostly small and underground. Angiosperms and gymnosperms first appeared. The end of the Mesozoic era was marked by another round of mass extinctions, probably caused by a meteor colliding with Earth, which sent an enormous amount of dust and smoke into the atmosphere. The dust and smoke blocked out sunlight and altered Earth's climate, which caused plants to die and subsequently caused animals that depend on the plants for food to die as well. The Mesozoic era is over and the Cenozoic era has started. The Cenozoic era started from 66 million years to present. This is the era where we live in. Modern mountain ranges like the Himalayas formed. Mammals became much larger and more dominant than their predecessors, perhaps because of lack of competition from the dinosaurs. Early modern humans first evolved 200,000 years ago. We had learned many things about the history of life on Earth. Thank you. Bye. Everyone, I am Irfan Kavi and today we are going to learn about the atmosphere of the Earth. So let's start today's video. At first we need to learn what is the atmosphere. The atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds the Earth, which allows life to exist on Earth. The atmosphere is like the Earth's blanket. It absorbs and traps just the right amount of heat from the sun to keep our planet at a livable temperature. The atmosphere also protects us against harmful radiation and has gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide, which people, animals, and plants need to survive. Now let's learn about the composition of the atmosphere. Now, what is the meaning of composition? Well, the meaning of composition is how much a thing is, means how much elements are there in a thing. So let's learn about the composition of the atmosphere. The atmosphere contains 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 1% other gases such as carbon dioxide, argon, neon, helium, krypton, etc. Now, fact time. Do you know that the atmosphere of the Earth is 10,000 kilometers thick? Yes. So, this so much thick atmosphere is only one? No, it contains layers such as troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and the exosphere. So, let's learn them one by one. Now let's start from the troposphere. The troposphere is the closest layer to Earth. It contains most of the weather. It also contains most of the air molecules. It is heated by the warmth of Earth's surface, so the higher you go in the troposphere, the colder it gets. The troposphere starts from the surface of the Earth to 16 kilometers above from the ground. Now we had reached the stratosphere. The stratosphere is the layer above the troposphere. Most large aeroplanes fly here. The ozone layer is located at the top of the stratosphere. Because the ozone, which is located high up in the stratosphere, absorbs UV radiation from the sun, it gets warmer as you get higher. The stratosphere starts at 16 kilometers from the ground and ends at 50 kilometers above the ground. Now we had reached the mesosphere. Temperatures here drop drastically because it contains little ozone and matter to absorb heat. Meteors that enter our solar system usually burn up here. A shooting star is a meteor burning in the mesosphere. The mesosphere starts at 50 kilometers and ends at 80 kilometers from the ground. Now we had reached the thermosphere. The thermosphere means the thermosphere is the hottest layer in the atmosphere. It filters out gamma rays and X-rays from the sun. The thermosphere starts at 90 kilometers and ends at 500 kilometers from the ground. Now we had reached the most uppermost layer of the atmosphere, the exosphere. The exosphere is the most outermost layer of the atmosphere. It has almost no matter and eventually fades into space. Satellites orbit the Earth in this layer. It starts at 500 kilometers to 10,000 kilometers from the ground. We had learned many things about the atmosphere of the Earth. Thank you. Bye. Hello everyone, I am Irfan and today we are going to learn about rocks and minerals. So without wasting time, let's start today's video. The earth is made up of hard substances called rocks. They are found in the soil, in rivers and sea. Rocks are of many kinds. They may be hard or soft. So, let's learn each of them one by one. Number 1. Igneous rock. Igneous rocks are formed by the solidification of lava. They are made up of iron, aluminium and magnesium. They are the oldest rocks. Igneous rocks are of two types, basalt rock and granite rock. Basalt rocks are formed by the solidification of lava, while granite rocks are formed by the solidification of magma. Number 2. Sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the sedimentation of weathered particles of igneous rocks. Examples of sedimentary rocks are sandstone and limestone. Number 3. Metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rocks are formed by the changes occurring in the interior of igneous as well as sedimentary rocks. Some examples of rocks are pumice, sandstone, limestone, coal, chalk, marble and granite. Now let's learn about minerals. Natural substances composed of elements and compounds and are found in rocks are known as minerals. Minerals also have some properties. They are: number 1. Most of the minerals have a crystal structure. Number 2. Some of the minerals have a metallic luster and others have a glassy luster. Number 3. One mineral can produce a scratch on other which is softer than it. Some examples of minerals are talc, gypsum, feldspar, quartz and diamond. So that's all for today. Bye bye. Hello, I am Irfan. Have you ever heard about the huge creatures which ruled on Earth? Well, I'm talking about dinosaurs. They went extinct. But how? So, let's explore it in today's video. But before continuing to the video, I want to say you that please subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet to get the science and knowledge videos first. Now let's continue to our video. At first, we need to know that what is extinction. If no creatures of the species is alive, the species is said to be extinct. The process of being extinct is called extinction. To know how dinosaurs went extinct, let's go back in time. See in the sky. What is that? Well, that is the asteroid which is going to kill the dinosaurs. But let's learn about the asteroid first. The name of the asteroid is Chicxulub Impactor Asteroid. It is 11 km to 81 km in size. Its speed was 54,726 km, means 15 km per second when it was entering the Earth's atmosphere. Now let's continue to our video. When it hits the Earth, it puts a lot of pressure on it. It is so bright that the dinosaurs, which were in its 800 kilometers range, became blind. It sent a lot of dust into the Earth's atmosphere and created clouds. These clouds blocked sunlight and every plant died in the absence of sunlight. As it affects the food chain, every herbivore and carnivore dinosaur died. I had made a separate video on food chain. The link is in the description. But the dinosaurs which could fly didn't die. And the dust which was sent to the Earth's atmosphere started falling down and killed the flying dinosaurs and almost 80% of all the living beings which existed on Earth. After 6 years, everything became normal. But how many years ago this incident happened? Means how many years back we had came with our time machine? Well, the answer is 66 million years, and everything which I told you is a theory and it is proven. But I haven't tell you that how humans came into existence. Well, I will tell about it in another video. So that's all for today. Bye bye. That what is the composition of the atmosphere means how many elements and by how much is in the atmosphere. Well, the atmosphere is composed of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 1% other gases. And you can also see the elements which are in 1%.